And today I want to talk about why Kazuya is the worst character in Tekken 8, and why this character is pretty much unplayable at the highest level. I feel like if you're literally not Keisuke with insane timing, it's impossible to make this character work. Because, why blame ourselves for our shortcomings when we don't reach the same heights as our top player representatives, when it's clearly the character that's the issue, not player skill? I mean, how am I expected to get as good as Keisuke? Hard work, practice, studying, experience? No, dude. I need my character to be so good that I don't have to do any of those things to get good results. Like, it's just not enough having back 4. It's not enough to have electric. It's not enough to have down forward 1-2, because you can duck and launch that. It's not enough to have down back 3, because it's minus on hit. It's not enough to have hell sweep. You can launch that. Sidestep 1+2? It's so slow. At least online. On PCs, like, this is possible to react to. It's possible. You have to go into a sidestep for the move to come out, and it's 20 frames. Some people can react to Jin's down back 4, and that's 20 frames. But this, you have to sidestep and then do 1+2, and then it's 20 frames. You know, if only I had some sort of other option out of a sidestep that perhaps was a mid that you could charge and would give you a wall splat on guard break. Nah, they wouldn't put that into this game. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. So, Kazuya's moves are so slow, like this. You can get jabbed out of this, floated. See, this. You can duck and launch that. You can duck and launch this. All that. And, like, Kazuya's lows, this 20 frames. We've already discussed 20 frame moves and how they're reactable and useless, and you should never even do them. Whatever. This is launch. Like, I don't think people realize if you just do this, like, what does Kazuya do? It's not like we're in a game that has, I don't know, like, chip damage that I could take advantage of and scare people into doing a move that would allow me to get counter hits or open them up in neutral or anything like that. And don't even get me started on counter hits. You have to do, if you can't get any of these, if you can't skillfully predict your opponent's offense and get it down forward too, this character is basically impossible. And especially in Season 2, they gave him this, and it used to fully track, and then they nerfed it. Like, you used to be able to do this to, like, keep them in check, keep them at bay, let them know that you would throw this out. It's a humble what? It's a humble 17 damage mid that used to track. Then they took away the tracking. You can step this now. Like, that's so unfair. Like, I just want people to understand how difficult this character is. Like, even, like, Claudio. People say Claudio is, like, really, really difficult. Like, really, really difficult, yeah. But even he has, like, he has, like, while running 2, that does, like, 1,000,000 fucking chip damage. And, like, back 2 or whatever it was that has the full fucking mid tracking, like, if I want to do that, I have to go into fucking crouch dash. I have to crouch dash 3. And this, once again, 20 frames, 21 frames, it's reactable. You can react to this. Useless. No point even using it. I just want people to understand that if you complain about this character, it's a skill issue and you just haven't played him enough. Like, once you, like, spam play against this character, you start noticing the holes in his offense and, like, just in his gameplay. Like, like, I'm not gonna really go into a lot of detail that a top player would be able to go into because, I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm just rambling. And, thought I would put that out into the internet because surely people would enjoy watching that. right? Claudio gets like an install starburst that allows him to get 1,000,000+ frames on some of his moves, and also, you know, sidestep, or you get, you know, guard broken wall splat like I mentioned before, and then also, you know, after a rage art, you know, his comeback mechanic, he gets to refill his starburst. So Kazuya's identity in old Tekken games used to be, you find your opening somehow with an electric, somehow, or with a down forward two, somehow, you know, that's all really risky stuff, you know. And then, you know, once they're in disadvantage, you push your, you know, your 50/50s, you know, your vortex, you know, stuff like that. But then they gave him this move, which I'm going to complain about the fact that they gave my character this move for some reason, even though it's really good. It gives you, what, +4, +5 on block? Yeah, and then, you know, it really makes you have, like, no reason to use all these other moves, you know? Like, there's no reason to chuck that out, there's no reason... You know, there's no reason to do any of his other stuff when they just give you a move like this. I mean, then, you know, you just start throwing this out, like, a lot. But then your opponent gets a read and realizes, oh, you can't just keep throwing them out to get plus on block. They're gonna interrupt you. Oh no, you have to use your brain when using these moves? And you know, I have so many clips and so many videos of Kazuya players that I'm playing against not understanding how to use your lows to get your mids to work, therefore making my points seem valid, and I will cherry pick to show those moments, except I won't, because it really only proves to you, the viewer, that people who play this character don't have a very high IQ. It actually kind of proves the opposite point when I show you how dumb people are when they play this character. So yeah, but it's actually the character that's the problem and not the person behind it. Absolutely, you know, it's just, you know, K just constantly gets lucky. You know, K is just really lucky. He's not good at the game. You know, he's lucky that Kazuya is just good enough to take him up to that, you know, upper level, and then, you know, he just gets lucky when he plays people, you know. Because I shouldn't be expected to be as good as him. Why? Why? I need my character to do that for me. You know, if you want the strength of Kazuya being able to push a 50/50 vortex, you know, with some sort of like stance like crouch dash, you might as well just spend your time playing, I don't know, Jin, Jun, Paul, Law, King, Laz, Xiaoyu, Jack 8, Leroy, Horang, Azucena, Raven, Yoshimitsu, Dragunov, Leo, Shaheen, The Bears, Zafina, Feng, Alyssa, Deviljin, Victor, Reina, Heihachi, Eddie, Lydia. You know, you might as well just play all those other characters. But my point is, Kazuya is the worst character in the game. He has no mix-ups. If you just play basic defense, he can't do anything.